I wanted to shoot a quick video about expanding your comfort zone. Now, the reason why I started thinking about that topic in the first place was something that happened to me 2 days ago. I was visiting my dad, and on the way to our house, I actually ran into our neighbors. Now, I hadn't seen them in a while, and of course they wanted to hear what I'm doing right now. So I told them that I graduated from university and that I moved back to Ulm for the time being. Ulm is my hometown. And I was looking for jobs. So the first thing they asked me immediately was, so are you looking for jobs in Ulm? And I actually had to start laughing in their faces, which was not that polite, I admit. But the reason for that was that finding a job or looking for a job in my hometown was so outside of my reality. I mean, I never even considered that for 1 second. And the reason is that I had been living abroad for quite some time now. I did my master in Maastricht in the Netherlands, and then I moved to Sweden and did a second master there. And recently I moved to China for 5 months and I was living there. So my, my comfort zone really expanded through these experiences, and it became more and more normal for me to live abroad and to have friends abroad and to make all these amazing experiences that usually come with living abroad. I met all these amazing people that helped me understand their culture better, and I got so much out of living abroad and living far away from my hometown that not for 1 second I could picture myself moving back to my hometown after graduating from university. Now, these neighbors that asked me that questions, they were in their late 70s and they had been living here in my hometown almost their entire lives. So this was really all they knew their entire lives, and it's very understandable that this is all they can picture and imagine if they think about where people could move potentially for a job. For them, it was just so outside their reality to move somewhere completely different than at least southern Germany, where I grew up. So this really got me thinking about comfort zones and how you continuously have to keep pushing your boundaries. And don't get me wrong, I mean, my comfort zone when it comes to living circumstances and places you could potentially move to, my comfort zone might be a little broader or wider than theirs, but I still have a comfort zone. And actually this was one of the main reasons why I moved to China recently. As I mentioned, I had been living abroad. I lived in other European countries, but the Netherlands and Sweden really aren't that different from Germany. So there wasn't a huge culture shock, to be honest. They speak a little different, they have different languages obviously, and the culture might be a little different, but really not that much. So what I wanted for myself was to push that comfort zone that I had established, and I did that by making the deliberate choice that I want to move to a place that is completely different than Germany and really anything that I knew before. So I chose to move to China and become an English teacher there actually for 5 months, something that of course had nothing to do with what I studied. So in many ways it was a completely new experience and a very, very rewarding and enriching experience. I really made great experiences there that helped me develop as a person. It really made me grow as a person, and of course it pushed my boundaries in many, many ways, not only geographically, obviously. So I wanted to just give you that thought, that quick idea about that you first of all have to push your boundaries, but even if you feel that you've pushed them quite far, you have to realize that you still have boundaries and you still have these frontiers that you could keep pushing forward. Maybe they're so far out, almost out of your vision, out of your sight, but they're still there. So if you feel comfortable where you are right now, consider what you could do to make yourself uncomfortable deliberately. How you could make yourself challenged. How you could make sure that you keep growing, and you only keep growing if you try something that you never tried before. So in my example, for example, I was being abroad and I had all these international friends, and I was very, very comfortable, but at the same time I knew that there is more, even more to the world, and that there is even more that I could experience, and there is so much more that could really throw me off and shock me a little bit and ultimately make me more grounded as a person and within my personality through these experiences that I made in China. So if you feel safe, if you feel secure right now, if you feel very comfortable, I would advise you to do anything possible in any area of your life, for that matter, to really challenge that comfort zone that you are in right now. Do anything crazy, anything you never attempted before, and you will be amazed how much further you can push your boundaries. So with that thought, I'm off.